Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ and Sons and our NCAA Football 14 series that we have. And we just finished off the dream season. National title, Anthony Gray coming through with the Heisman Trophy winning, setting school records. And that was just I couldn't ask any more from these young fellas that we had. So we are going to advance to the postseason, or I guess end of season, everything that kind of goes on there. Now we're going to take a look at some of the, I guess, development tree, basically is what it is, skill tree, um, to see where we can improve ourselves at. We are going to be at a level 17 now, and after 2 seasons, that's a pretty dang decent ranking to me. And so to kind of recap what we've been able to accomplish through these 2 seasons, right? First season, we did lose 2 games, and we made it to the Peach Bowl, which we ended up winning that one. It was a close one, but we pulled it out. So season 2 starts. We have to face off against the was number 12 ranked Kansas State. Then we have to face off against the Longhorns, and then comes the games against South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, and everything that those things entailed. Bunch of close games. Never once did we give up as a team. So you got to be proud of the kids and the way they were able to perform. Paul Green really stepped up this year. Accuracy, I guess, would be about what you would expect. Anthony Gray, first season starting, was behind Hammond coming into this season, and first season starting, and he showed up. All right, here we are, just some highlights from the SEC title game, beating Alabama, or beating A&M, and then the national title game. We'll have a couple highlights from that as well. Uh, Anthony Gray mentioned him. Corey Lee really came through as a tight end, came into his own to be a premier tight end, not only in college football, but probably going forward as well. Ross Lundy, Shane Swain, Sean Thomas. Our offense was just spectacular. And there we are, hoisting that SEC championship trophy right there. Could not ask for more, I could say that. And look, I got to say, I'm a Longhorn fan. I love seeing Aggies look dejected. I love seeing a team beat Ohio State. And here it was, the final kick that won us the game. Now, what am I getting to with all of this? You may be asking yourself as we see these highlights happening, right? Um, well, we are just the offensive coordinator for Tennessee. Okay, and every offseason comes opportunities are made available to you, especially with the coaching carousel and things that can happen. Now, we did get opportunities at the end of last season, but nothing was really worth taking. And so I asked myself, well, what can we do? What kind of opportunity would be required for us to actually leave our setup that we have now with such a high-powered offense? We're turning Tennessee essentially into a top-performing SEC dynasty powerhouse type of team. And is there anything that could pull us away from such a setup that we had, really, that allows us to succeed at some of the highest levels that we have? And opportunities, they come and they go. And so you have to kind of take a look at each one of them and take a look at it for what it really is. What type of school are we going to? Is it a small school or is it a big opportunity? Is it something that allows us to grow and develop even more and not just be an offensive coordinator, but potentially be a head coach? And after you won a national title as an offensive coordinator, what is the one thing that you need to do at that time? Well, I'm going to say it. Once you've won it as a coordinator, now we need to win it as a head coach. And really, Travis Green is the head coach of Tennessee. This, as much as it is our legacy, it is truly his. And we need to create our own legacy, I feel. And so looking at these shots, looking at these memories, we have to understand that that's really what they are. And so to all the fans of Tennessee, I do have to say we are going to take a look at the coaching carousel to see what is possibly available to us. BYU, it looks like, is potentially throwing out a job offer for a head coach. But being in the American Conference, it's not really something I'm looking for. I'm not going to leave to go to a smaller school. I've built up Tennessee. I've played the best. I've coached the best of the best. And so, really, we need to, if we're going to change schools, we got to take a look and get something that's going to truly offer us, I would definitely say a promotion, a step up in the game, right? NC State, we are number 2 in the line, so no one have to worry about that. Pittsburgh, these schools, as I think as good as we are, it's, you know, we were number 2. I don't want to be anybody's second choice. It's that simple. We're not even on the call for Pittsburgh at that time. Defensive coordinator, no way. We are an offense, minded type of guy, and so we are having to look in that area and just see what comes available. There's nothing for Pitt, Houston. We are well down the line. Houston being based in Texas, I would have to imagine you got to take a look at recruiting opportunities there. We had started to try to get a couple guys from Houston when we were at Tennessee. So it's not really something that's set up to really leave at this juncture of career is what we're looking at right now. I mean, the Thundering Herd. No, I'm pretty dang selective. And like I say, once you just won an SEC title and a national championship, I think, we've earned the right to be selective on if we even are going to leave this school. Troy, no, they've had some great players before, but nothing that we're looking at. And then, let's see, Texas Tech. Now, that is a job offer. If provided, it is something that we'd probably definitely be willing to look at. They are a Big 12 team. Their record is never truly as bad as it turns out, I guess you could say. Looking at them, they're going to be, they have an A+ prestige, big time conference, and a team that knows how to put up some wins. They just can never carry through. And so, with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, to all our fans at Tennessee, I do have to apologize, but we are needing to grow and become more than what we are right now. And that is, we are going to be the new head coach of the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Okay. And I know this may be a shock, especially with the team that we're looking at. If we just go down the roster right now, Conception, DeMarcus, I'm saying Conception, it's probably supposed to be Concepcion, but Conception, 94 overall. He gives us an opportunity. We got some youngsters at quarterback also to kind of help grow and develop. And I think he's a pretty good setup for what we are looking for, ball carrying and all that. He's, we're bringing our option. We're not going to the air raid, all right? We're not going to just change our style of offense because of a school that we go to. No, we're bringing our offense to Texas Tech. Now, they've been in the air raid, throw it 80 times a game, come hell or high water, and it works out for about the first half of the season. And then they hit the tough part of their schedule, and it really starts to falter. And so, looking at, we got some guys I think that have definite potential for our offense there. Now, looking at running back, we do have a senior running back starting out for us. Weber, followed up by Poole, who is a junior, so we should be able to get him for at least one more year, I think. Birch is going to be a sophomore, and then J.R. Kennedy is one of our freshmen. So we've got definite potential on this offense, and that's one of the things I was looking for, is where can we not only grow a team, but where can we grow ourselves and our capabilities to coach a team, to develop young kids into becoming great football players. And out here in Lubbock, we are going to, I think, get our shot. Our offense, we've got a pretty decent offensive setup going. When you're number 5 wide receivers and 80 overall, that's when you're doing pretty dang well for yourself. And you have some guys like Hunter Sparks that are developing, that are still pretty dang young, is what I will say on that. Now, taking a look at our tight ends, we don't have too much going, but that's all right. We can bring some guys in, some young guys, and get them developed over time. Now, looking at left tackle, 92 overall Fisher. He's going to be a big time starter for us. Barring any type of injury, he's going to be protecting our backside, from those heavy blitzes and everything that can come off of there. But we got a pretty good setup, a lot of depth built up at the left tackle spot, which will actually allow us to make changes on down the line. And then here we come at the left guard. We're developing there. Center, we have Williams coming in at a 91 overall. Smith is going to be an 83. And at right tackle, Stephen Davis rounds out our group as a senior with an 88 overall. So our tackles are definitely high powered on the edges and something that I think can really give us a good advantage. Now taking a look at the ends. Left end is pretty decent. Right end, Armstrong, we are definitely going to be weak. He is just a redshirt freshman, so we definitely have time, but we're going to need some quick development out of him as this season goes. Defensive tackle, if you see, we're at a 79 overall for our number one, Ryan Robinson. He's a sophomore. Once again, we have time, but we are going to have to definitely start getting into some recruiting and hopefully kind of dig into some of those maybe possible, I guess you could say, type of pipeline, see if we could do the same strategy we had with Tennessee, bring that here to West Texas. Linebacker, senior Stephen White, 85 overall. He's a good option for us. He's got a lot of speed and strength. Same thing in the middle linebacker spot. They are only 80 overall, but they are both very veteran, 80 overall, and have some high assets in other areas. Now, defensive back that we're going to be getting to here in a minute, this is probably going to be one of the bigger concerns for me is at the defensive back position that we have. And you'll see right now the highest we got is 79 overall from a couple of seniors, but not much more than that. So we are definitely going to need some work in our defensive backfield. But this is really going to challenge us. This is what we've wanted to look forward to going from an offensive coordinator is growing into a primetime head coach. And so, once again, I got to apologize to all my fans with Tennessee, but this is an opportunity we could not pass up. And you never know, it may lead us back to Neyland Stadium. Now, with that in mind, as we get ready to start the next season, I do want to thank y'all for joining us for this one and hope y'all are prepared to join us in Season 3 where we will lead the Texas Tech Red Raiders. So definitely hit that subscribe button and hit the thumbs up if you're prepared for Season 3, and I will see y'all then. So as always, everybody, stay safe, and well, you know how it goes. Later, y'all.